She moaned his name in her sleep, not mine, *** his. It was a whisper, soft and almost pitiful, like her subconscious was confessing something her lips never would while awake. I lay there frozen beside her, staring at the ceiling in our dim bedroom, the kind of darkness that presses on your chest. I didn't move, I didn't breathe. I just listened as the woman I married murmured my brother's name like a secret prayer. That was the beginning, or maybe the middle. Hell, maybe I'd ignored the beginning so long ago, I didn't even notice I'd crossed into the part of the story where I become the fool. You need to understand, I trusted both of them, implicitly. My wife Sarah and my younger brother, Jonah. I was the older, steadier one. Jonah was the wild spirit, the artistic drifter with a magnetic energy that made people lean in a little too close when he spoke, women especially. But I never thought God, I never imagined he'd aim that intensity at ***. Sarah and I had been together for 8 years, married for 5. We weren't perfect, but we had a rhythm, quiet mornings, shared Spotify playlists, Saturday farmers markets. She was grounded, sharp, sarcastic in that charming way that made you feel like she saw through you but loved you anyway. I thought we were good, not burning with passion every day, sure, but stable ***. Safe. Jonah had been in and out of our lives, usually crashing on our couch between whatever his latest soul-searching gig was, teaching yoga in Bali, running a failed healing retreat in Costa Rica, apprenticing under a shaman in New Mexico. His current phase, tantric energy facilitator. He said it without irony, like he'd finally found his purpose unlocking people's inner cosmic fire or some crap like that. Sarah was polite to him. At least, that's how it started. She humored his mystical talk, rolled her eyes when he wasn't looking. But slowly, that shifted. They started talking more during dinners, then they were texting. She told me it was about his business, that she was helping him set up a website. I wanted to believe her, so I did. Looking back, I ignored the signs because it was easier than accepting the truth. Like how she started wearing looser clothing, not in a frumpy way, but flowy and earthy, like she was shedding her old skin. She'd close the door during her evening yoga sessions now. She'd play strange music late at night, tribal drums, chants, ethereal flutes, and then there were the crystals on our windowsill. She hated clutter, but suddenly every corner of the house had some damn amethyst tower or rose quartz sphere. Still, I said nothing. I let it slide. I was the rational one, the partner who didn't get jealous over spiritual bonding or harmless intimacy coaching. Until one Sunday when I came home early from a canceled client meeting and heard her laughing, really laughing, the kind that shook through her chest from the living room. I froze in the hallway. It was a sound I hadn't heard in weeks. When I walked in, Jonah was sitting on the floor, cross-legged, shirtless, his hands resting gently on Sarah's knees as she knelt across from him. Both of them had their eyes closed. "It's just partner breathing," she said later, brushing off my concern. "It's grounding, helps release blocked energy." I told her it felt off. She called me closed-minded. Said I didn't understand the feminine energy she was trying to access. "You wouldn't get it, Mark," she snapped, brushing past me. "You're so stuck in your head all the time." That night, I didn't touch her. I lay in bed, wide awake, heart pounding, trying to make sense of what I was becoming. A husband who had to compete with his own brother, not just for attention, but for her soul. But the moment that cracked me wide open wasn't until a week later, when we were in therapy. We'd been seeing Dr. Langston for a few months, mostly because Sarah said she felt unseen, disconnected. I wanted to show her I was trying. That day she was quiet for most of the session. Then, out of nowhere, she turned to the therapist and said, "I feel alive with Jonah, like I'm finally waking up." I didn't speak, I couldn't. I just stared at her, my ears ringing, heart slowing in that way it does when you realize you've been living in a lie so well constructed. You mistook it for love. She looked at me then, tears brimming. I didn't mean for it to happen. But it did. He showed me something I never knew I needed. Dr. Langston tried to intervene, tried to soften it, but I'd already gone numb. I left without saying a word, drove straight to my office, locked the door, and sat there for hours trying to unfeel everything. Now Jonah's been texting, calling, begging. "Please don't tell Mom," he said in one message. "She'll never forgive me," in another. And the worst one, "She told you everything in therapy." Bro, you can't repeat that. You'll ruin us. He doesn't understand. This isn't about revenge. It's about truth. When we were kids, Jonah broke my wrist. He didn't mean to. We were wrestling in the backyard like we always did. He was smaller, warier, but fast, slippery. I pinned him down too hard and he twisted out from under me like a snake, shoving me backwards. I landed wrong, heard the crack before I felt it. He cried louder than I did, begged me not to tell Dad. I didn't. I lied and said I slipped on the porch, covered for him. Took the pain and the cast and the questions from school because that's what big brothers do, right? That's what I thought then. That loyalty meant swallowing pain if it protected someone you love. It's funny how your childhood defines you in ways you don't realize until your adult life is burning down in the same damn shape. After the therapy session, Sarah moved into the guest room. Not with Jonah, at least not at first. She said she needed space, to reflect, to honor what's come up. Her words, not mine. I spent those nights pacing the bedroom like a ghost, rereading our wedding vows like they were crime scene evidence. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. Couldn't even cry, just stared at my phone, watching Jonah's name light up the screen. He sent a voice message. I played it once. Mark, man, I didn't mean for any of this to happen. It started as energy work. She was blocked, emotionally. I was just helping her find herself again. You've always been the practical one. She needed something else, something softer. Softer, that word lodged in my ribs like glass. He made it sound like a gift. Like sleeping with my wife was an service asterisk. A week later, he came to the house. Sarah wasn't home. I was drinking coffee at the kitchen table when I saw his car pull up. I didn't move. Just watched through the window as he sat in the driver's seat for almost 10 minutes, like he was working up the courage to face me. When he finally knocked, I opened the door and said nothing, just stepped aside. He stood in the foyer like a teenager about to be grounded. No eye contact, just fidgeting with his bracelets, wearing one of those flowy white shirts like he was still leading some sacred cacao ceremony. I didn't come to fight, he said. I nodded. Good, because you'd lose. He winced. Mark. I sat back down at the table, motioned for him to join me. He hesitated, then did. For a moment, we just sat there. Two brothers with too much history, too much unsaid. The silence between us felt louder than the betrayal. She told me things, I said finally, in therapy. He looked up, his face paled. What kind of things? I let the silence stretch. I wanted him to stew in it, to imagine the worst, because I had imagined it, night after night, in every dark crevice of my mind. What did she say to him when she came? What names did she whisper? What pieces of me did she strip away in that candlelit room while pretending it was healing? She said you made her feel sacred, I said quietly. That your body felt like truth, that when she was with me, she felt dead inside. He flinched, just a twitch, but it was enough. You think I don't know how you operate? I leaned forward. You find broken things, women who feel unseen. Then you wrap them in incense and compliments and tell them their wounds are portals to divinity. Jonas swallowed hard. It wasn't like that. I love her. That word, that smug, heavy word, I laughed. It was cold and hollow and didn't sound like me. You love her. Is that what you told the last one? The married yoga client, the girl in Costa Rica who emptied her bank account for your moon pilgrimage. His face darkened. That's not fair. No, I said, voice hard. What you did isn't fair. He stood up like he couldn't take it anymore, walked to the window. His back was shaking. I didn't mean to hurt you. But you did, I said, and you will again. He turned, eyes glossy. I came to make it right. Then disappear, I said flatly. Don't call her, don't text me. Tell mom you went off grid to find yourself again. Just leave. He stared at me for a long time, then nodded. And for a moment I thought that was the end. But 2 nights later, Sarah came into our room at 3 a.m., sat on the edge of the bed and whispered, I didn't tell you everything in therapy. My stomach dropped. She looked at me, eyes red, lips trembling. There's something else I need to confess. I sat up slowly, like any sudden movement might shatter whatever fragile truth she was about to place between us. The room was still, too still, just the sound of our breath, uneven, cautious, scared. Sarah didn't look at me at first. She stared down at her hands, twisting her wedding ring in slow, nervous circles. I didn't mean for it to go this far, she whispered. It wasn't just sex. That would have been easier to explain. It was. She paused, and when her voice came back, it cracked. I thought I was healing. I thought Jonah was helping me, but something about it started to feel wrong, like I was unraveling, not awakening. My pulse quickened. It wasn't guilt in her voice, it was something else, something deeper, regret, fear. She finally looked at me, her eyes searching mine for any scrap of kindness I might still be hoarding. He told me not to tell you. He said it would just hurt you, that it was between our energies, but I can't live with this inside me. I braced myself. I thought I'd heard it all, but nothing prepared me for what she said next. He filmed it, Mark. I blinked. What? She swallowed hard. The first time we crossed the line, he said it was for energy mapping, said watching it back would help me reconnect with my true essence. I felt the blood drain from my face. He recorded it, I asked, my voice sharp, foreign. She nodded. Not just once. I couldn't breathe. My chest tightened like it was being squeezed by invisible hands. Betrayal had gone from spiritual and emotional to something else entirely, something predatory, violent, violated. He told me he deleted them after, she rushed to add. But now I'm not sure. I asked him to show me and he got angry. I stood up, the movement almost knocking over the lamp on the nightstand. You let him film you, I said, low and hollow. You let my brother record you while you. I was in a different place back then, she cut in, crying now. I was lost. He said it was sacred, that it wasn't about the physical, that it was a portal. I believed him, Mark. I was stupid. I was broken. I laughed, not because it was funny, but because I had no other reaction left. It came out bitter, raw, like my body couldn't decide whether to cry or collapse. He manipulated you, I said, almost to myself, and you let him. She grabbed my arm. Please, I didn't come in here to justify it. I wanted you to know everything. I wanted to stop lying. I shook her off. My mind was already spiraling, spinning in 1,000 directions. What if he hadn't deleted the videos? What if he still had them? What if he shared them, showed someone? Would he be that reckless, that cruel? I grabbed my phone, dialed Jonah. Straight to voicemail. I tried again. Same. Sarah watched me, shaking. What are you going to do? I'm going to end this, I said. She flinched. Please don't go over there. You don't know what he's. I no, I snapped. I know exactly who he is. I just spent a lifetime pretending not to. I drove to Jonah's apartment in silence, my fingers white-knuckled around the steering wheel. The streets were empty, the world quiet, like even the universe knew something awful was about to be unearthed. When I reached his building, I didn't knock. I kicked the door until he opened it, groggy and shirtless, rubbing his eyes like a hungover teenager. When he saw me, his face froze. Mark. I shoved past him. Where is it? What? He stumbled back. What are you talking about? The videos, I hissed. You recorded her. Where are they? His expression shifted from fear to arrogance. You need to calm down, man. I grabbed him by the collar and slammed him against the wall. Don't tell me to calm down. He looked scared now, genuinely. Okay, I deleted them, I swear, it was wrong, I know, I got carried away. You got carried away, I snarled. You manipulated my wife, my family. You recorded intimate moments under the guise of spiritual growth. You exploited her vulnerability and filmed it like a goddamn experiment, He didn't respond, so I pulled out my phone. I'll give you one chance, I said. You send me your cloud logins, your backup folders, everything. If I find even one trace of those videos, I'll go to the police, and Mom. And every woman you've ever guided through one of your soul sessions. His mouth opened, but no words came out. I mean it, I said. You think spiritual assault doesn't leave a trail, it does. And I'll burn every inch of your little empire down. He gave me the passwords. I left without another word. Back in my car, I sat shaking. I had everything now, the evidence, the leverage, the full, unfiltered truth. But the worst part, I didn't feel victorious. I just felt hollow. I didn't sleep that night. Even after I scanned Jonah's cloud drives and confirmed the videos were gone, no backups, no hidden folders, no shadow links, I still sat there, paralyzed at my desk, replaying it all in my head. Not the sex, not the betrayal, but the moments before, the years leading up to it, the silence I mistook for peace, the way I mistook loyalty for love, and restraint for strength. And I kept asking myself the same question: how much of this did I let happen? Sarah stayed in the guest room. I didn't talk to her that night or the next day. I needed space to think. Or maybe just to feel like a man again, like a person. Because for the first time in my life, I felt like an object moved around by everyone else's needs, her healing, Jonah's power trip. The family's blind trust. 3 days later, I called my mother. I didn't tell her everything, not yet, just that Jonah had crossed a line and that I needed space. She was confused, then defensive. He's impulsive, sure, but he's always loved you both. That's the thing about Jonah. He gets away with things because he doesn't look like a villain. He looks like an open mic knight. Like someone who talks about inner wounds and spiritual awakenings over herbal tea. But underneath the soft words and sage smoke, there's rot. And I knew, he'd do it again. Maybe not with Sarah, but with someone else's wife, someone else's heart, dressed up in incense and intimacy and the lie of higher purpose. So I made a decision. It started with an email. To 3 of Jonah's former clients, the ones who'd left his retreats early, who'd posted vague 1-star reviews online about inappropriate boundaries. I asked them if they'd talk to me off the record. 2 ignored me. One replied her name was Elena. She'd met Jonah at a wellness event in Shalom, signed up for a weekend retreat with him after a messy breakup. She told me he was charming, warm, deeply intuitive. And then, I typed, she replied. He convinced me to do breathwork sessions in the dark. Alone, said I blocked emotional release. I only realized later how manipulated I'd been, but by then I'd already gone too far. She had emails, recordings, nothing criminal, not in the legal sense, but enough enough to start something, enough to break the image he sold to people who just wanted to feel better. I sat with that for hours, then I forwarded everything to Sarah. She called me that night, voice shaking. Why are you sending this to me? Because you're not the only one he did this to, I said. And you're not the only one who still thinks he's a misunderstood soul instead of a predator in linen pants. Silence, then she said something that hit deeper than I expected. Do you hate me? I wanted to. God, it would have been easier. Cleaner, but the truth was more complicated than that. It always had been. I don't hate you, I said finally. I hate what you let happen. I hate that you didn't see me bleeding until it was too late. She started to cry, but I didn't comfort her, not this time. A week later, Jonah disappeared. His Instagram vanished. Website gone, phone disconnected. Word spread that he'd left for Bali again. A detox journey, according to the whispers. Some spiritual sabbatical to cleanse his energy, but I know the truth. He ran because he knew the story was coming. I didn't release it publicly. Not yet. I'm not out for clout. This isn't about revenge, it's about reckoning. Sarah moved out last month, took only her books and yoga mats, left her wedding ring on the kitchen counter like it was just some token from a life she no longer believed in. I haven't seen her since. Dr. Langston said I'm doing better, that I've made tremendous emotional progress. But some nights, I still lie awake, thinking about the way she whispered Jonah's name. About the way he looked when I slammed him against that wall. Not scared, not ashamed, just empty. The same way I felt all those nights pretending everything was fine. But here's the thing no one tells you about betrayal. It doesn't always explode. Sometimes it drips, one drop at a time. Quiet, inevitable, until one day you're drowning and everyone else is still calling it love. So yeah, my brother slept with my wife to awaken her feminine energy. But what he really did, what they both did, was awaken me. And I won't let it happen again.